There are a lot of subjects taught in school, but one that often gets overlooked is character education. It's something that brings great value to the lives of students and communities they live in. It helps influence their decision-making skills and shape their values. Children as young as kindergartners benefit from character education in the classroom. In a moment, we're going to discuss the significance of character education in public schools. Welcome to episode 88 of the Teacher Rockstar Podcast, a place where tips and strategies critical to the new teacher are discussed. I'm your host, Steve Hiles, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about character education in public schools. But first, a word from our sponsor. Teachers, if you'd like to supercharge your writer's workshop with an engaging writing project, consider grabbing my free Let's Write a Book activity. The resource comes complete with templates and step-by-step directions. All you have to do is visit getstartedontherightfoot.com. That's getstartedontherightfoot.com. And I just know your students will really, absolutely love this activity. Like I said a moment ago, there are a lot of subjects taught in school, right? But one that often gets overlooked is character education. Well, I want to go ahead and first talk about the 6 pillars of character education, okay? The 6 pillars of character include trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. In the 1980s, the Supreme Court acknowledged that public schools are the perfect vehicle for learning core values. Unfortunately, character education isn't a part of many educational institutes' curriculums. Okay, there are 3 areas I specifically want to address, and the first one being character education involves the entire community. When implemented in a school setting, it shapes students' beliefs and actions. Schools are encouraged to make staff, students, and their parents active participants in character education. That way, my friend, areas of emphasis are determined by the community. Does that make sense? Let's look at the second area I want to talk about here, and it's how it benefits students, homes, and communities. Character education training improves classroom interactions, lessens the need for disciplinary actions, and helps shape the future of students who rely on their training to do right by the world. It also gives parents and the community the skills needed to consistently speak about desirable character traits to students. And I find this to be very, very important here. And the third thing is the importance of shaping young people's future through beliefs and actions. Making the case for character education is much simpler than it looks. It involves a commitment from educators and parents alike. Character education is something that is overlooked but necessary in schools around the country. It helps shape children's moral values and helps them grow into well-rounded, rule-abiding citizens. By accessing the right resources, educators can teach character education in a way that resonates with youth. It's something they can communicate to other members of the school district as well as the parents of the students being taught. Communities are strengthened by character education, and students that become exemplary citizens because of their strong moral values, infinite amount of respect, and desire to do the right thing at all times. Now, we're going to be right back after a quick word from our sponsor. Would you like to 10x your classroom management skills? Well, if you're a brand new teacher, a student teacher, or perhaps you're a teacher returning back into the classroom, or a seasoned teacher for that matter, the Teacher Rockstar Academy course is for you. Gain the confidence, the skills you'll need to crush it on day 1 and beyond. Enroll now at the teacherrockstaracademy.com. All right, let's continue on. Our public school system, from arrival to dismissal, is packed with objectives, lessons, and expectations. It may almost seem detrimental to throw in another curriculum course on top of everything else. The case for character education, however, is different. Much different, as a matter of fact. Unlike the academic subject areas, character education teaches social, emotional skills to students that they can use in any situation, whether the student is interacting with other students, adults, or deciding their course of action alone. Character education is an important element of socialization that can be easily overlooked. When students are introduced to concepts of character, they are asked to reflect on their own personal values and how they are treating others around them. With a well-rounded character education curriculum, students can be guided into considering their actions and how they affect others around them. This self-reflection leads to a positive school climate where students are more considerate of their own behaviors. Giving students and teachers a common vocabulary will allow them to communicate their emotions and ideas more effectively and, in turn, can reduce unwanted behaviors. Character education also allows for a stronger understanding of social emotional learning. When conflict arises between students, they can communicate to one another by their observations on each other's behaviors through the lens of the common character values. This empowers students to self-advocate and to advocate for others if they see peers are being targeted for teasing or bullying. A strong character education will also allow for the foundations of successful adult interactions. Through scaffolding character education throughout the years of development, students can be given a stronger understanding of their own character strengths and shortcomings. They can better understand how to utilize their strengths in each social situation, while understanding what character traits they need to practice to improve. By understanding their own strengths, they will be able to see the value in a diversity of character traits in their peers and will be better able to work in diverse groups of people throughout their lives. What do you do to foster character education at your school? I'd really love to hear from you. Just shoot me an email. Well, I hope that this proved to be some helpful information for you. We have come to the end of today's episode, and I want to thank you for listening to the Teacher Rockstar podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hiles, and again, we hope you've enjoyed listening to these tips and strategies regarding character education in public schools. And when you get a moment, visit my blog and subscribe to my newsletter for the latest educational research, best practices, and unadvertised free bonuses. Go to stevesclassroomresources.blogspot.com. And don't forget to subscribe to us at Teacher Rockstar Podcast. And if you'd like to support us, please feel free to share our podcast with others. Post about it on social media or leave a rating and review. That would certainly be appreciated. Thanks again. We'll see you same time, same place next week. And remember, my friend, you got this.